the planet will change. So if we find that we don't have partners equal to us spiritually in terms of men, we can only say, it's the women, it's the mothers, it's that energy in the cultures that have allowed that mask, that have allowed that machismo, that have allowed that illusion to be there. Because of course, again, men have been women, and women have been men. And so, inside of us, all of the energy is there. And so we were talking about doing an exercise in consciousness, so we can help men by sending them light, to give them the support they need to feel that potential, that spiritual potential inside them, and to be able to communicate that. If you want a man to be spiritual, then poke at him. Touch the spiritual energy inside him, and he will respond with that energy. It is women that are afraid that we'll be laughed at, that we are afraid that we will not be seen as powerful, because we don't understand spiritual energy ourselves. We put it in boxes and say, if we meditate, we're spiritual. If we do this, we're spiritual. No, spirituality is the essence of all humans. And so we'll do this exercise in consciousness now. As we did before with Chile, we will ask your higher self to show you what man or group of men you need to send light to at this moment, to help them to be visible and to access their spirituality and to experience it. And then whatever color they ask for, we'll send that color to them. So we're going to do the exercise in Spanish. So close your eyes. Y pídele a su ser superior enseñarle un hombre o un grupo de hombres a quienes debes de mandar luz para apoyarles a encontrar su espiritualidad, su esencia, su vibración sutil del alma que pueden enseñar y utilizar en el mundo. Inspira y ver quién te viene a la mente. Un hombre, varios hombres, ver quién te viene. Y cuando sabes quién eres o quiénes son, entonces pregúntale a él o a ellos qué color necesita de ti para poder tocar su potencial espiritual, tener la experiencia de aquello. Y ver qué color se te viene a la mente. Inspiras profundamente y hacer traer ese color del cosmos por la cabeza, pasando al plexo solar y extendiendo este color al hombre o al grupo de hombres. Extiende el color fácilmente hasta que vea un cambio, que se sonríe, que se hace grande, que se cambia en una forma, para que sepas que si recibieran el color, la energía, el lenguaje cósmico, dándole permiso de utilizar su conciencia en su mundo y en el mundo de todos nosotros. Inspira profundamente y abre los ojos. Este ejercicio puedes hacer mientras que estás hablando con un hombre. No tienes que estar afuera en meditación. Puedes hacerlo enfrente de la cara de alguien. Y es increíble ver cómo la cara cambia. Cuando tú estás charlando y a la misma vez mandando colores. A ver, ¿Para ti fue un hombre o varios hombres? Un hombre. ¿Para cuántos de ustedes fue un hombre? Levanta la mano, quiero ver. ¿Solo uno? Dos. Qué interesante. ¿Y para cuántos era un grupo de hombres? Todos ustedes. Muy bien. ¿Y a este hombre qué color necesitaba de ti? Morado. Morado, diciendo morado como fuerte el color o suave. El morado.
Más fuerte.
Más fuerte. Te pregunto eso porque el morado fuerte simboliza o tiene la energía de sabiduría espiritual, de los reyes, ¿no? O sea que es un color bastante fuerte. Y cuando un hombre pide ese, es porque él necesita recordar quién es. A estos niveles espirituales. O sea que perfecto. Muy bien. What else would you like to talk about?
As a follow-up
Yes.
to that, when women have that deeper consciousness and wisdom, why is it that women have allowed men to take over the power? Why did they give up the power to men as we see it mostly in the world right now?
I think it began, and I said this in that book, The Evolution of God. It began because at one time they were the priestesses, and they passed money and property to their daughters, to women. Women actually had the economic control, and they had the spiritual control. And there were a group of early Christian priests in the Middle East especially that decided that was enough of that. What was their motive? I don't think it was spiritual. I think it had to do with this. And so they ransacked them. And because they were more powerful physically, they destroyed the priestesses. And they therefore imprinted in the psychogenetics of women the fear of men, the fear of being able to be equal to them. They destroyed, for example, we have no text, we have no religious text at the time of the women. We know that they worshipped nature, that they found that sexuality and spirituality had some connection, but we don't have a lot of information texts about their powers or their understandings because they destroyed it all. They destroyed the statues, they destroyed the writings, they destroyed it all. And so because the women didn't have the physicality to fight for their God or fight for their knowing, very quickly, when the priest took that away, women were not allowed to worship with men. They were not allowed to talk about their gods. They were relegated to their houses to be subservient to men. It doesn't take very many generations to imprint something like that that can go on for thousands of years. We're just coming out of that octave. And it's interesting that how do we come out? We're coming out spiritually as well as economically. Women have been saying, well, we can do it as well as you, and we can. But we are also turning more and more to that place where we are secure. Because spiritual energy is invisible. So it suits the intuitive. It suits the subtle energies. It doesn't have to have power. Men have made it into my God against your God. That's not for us. It's not about the God. It's about the pure energy inside us. And so I think that the time of the man lording it over women, sexually, emotionally, spiritually, economically, physically, it's over. It's over. And a lot of that depends upon how we teach our boys and how we stand peacefully. We don't have to fight for who we are. We don't have to fight for the power we have, but to extend that energy out.